Happy National Canadian Film Day. I love Canadian films. I used to have a show on YouTube called Canadian Cult Cinema where I talked about movies all the time. And these are 5 of my favorite weird Canadian films. Psycho Goreman is a 2020 Canadian science fiction fantasy horror film written and directed by Steve Kostanski. It's about a young girl and her brother, and they find a monster and a gem that controls this monster. The monster wants to destroy the universe, but they use him to do their bidding and to look at hunky boys. Check it out. It's weird. It's wonderful. It's gory. Psycho Goreman. In a Violent Nature is a 2024 Canadian slasher film written and directed by Chris Nash. This film mostly takes place from the killer's perspective. Imagine a Friday the 13th movie, but you follow Jason around. So it's sort of a different take on the slasher genre. It just came out last year. It was one of my favorite films of last year. It's some incredibly crazy, gory kills in there. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. You should be able to find it on streaming right now. Wolf Cop is a 2014 horror comedy written and directed by Lowell Dean. It's about an alcoholic cop who gets turned into a werewolf, and his name is Lou Garou. Nice little French joke there. It was shot in and around Regina. There's actually a sequel to this one, too. It's called Another Wolf Cop, and mine is signed by Gowan. I worked as a guitar tech for Gowan briefly, and at the end of the show, I brought up a copy of Wolf Cop 2 and awkwardly asked him to sign it, and he was more than happy to. This is one of my absolute favorite films, bar none. It's Turbo Kid. It's a post-apocalyptic film set in an alternative 1997, written and directed by RKSS. A kid becomes his favorite comic book hero, Turbo Kid, in order to save his overly enthusiastic robot girlfriend. It sounds ridiculous. This movie has more heart than you can believe. It's also really funny, really gory, and yeah, if you haven't seen Turbo Kid, check it out. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about The King Died. This is sort of a mystery thriller directed by Christian Sparks. After the mayor of a town comes across a child in the water, they discover that this child has healing powers. And that sort of divides the town, turns them against each other as time goes by. I don't want to say too much more about it because it's really cool. It's really new. Came out last year. You should check it out on streaming. I got the chance to check it out in the theater, but it should be available on Crave or some other streaming services right now. Check it out. And that's 5 of my favorite weird and wonderful Canadian films for National Canadian Film Day. Let me know what yours are in the comments.